What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth in the building, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Dave East entitled Fortune Favors the Bold. Now, Harlem native Dave East is coming fresh off the heels of his Book of David Deluxe that had dropped some months back. But before I jump into this review, I do want to point out that really ever since Dave East's Hoffa, he's been on a pretty consistent run. Hoffa was a project that had aged well for me, and I was a fan of How Did I Get Here from 2022, and the Book of David was a solid release as well. But getting right into Fortune Favors the Bold, it contains 24 songs lasting an hour and 3 minutes, so it's on the lengthy side, y'all. I believe it was dedicated to his grandma who recently passed, and also recorded at Pablo Escobar's crib, which sounds like a crazy flex, right? I mean, suppose you'd have to check in and do all types of that stuff. Now, with 24 tracks, there are some skits that I am going to skip over in this review, but I will say that they don't weigh the album down, fortunately. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener, Come Too Far, has a soulful trap beat from Cool and Dre and background vocals from the legendary Kid Capri. On here, Dave is talking his talk, speaking on project life. He raps, he caught that boy in the lobby and caught his first body. He prayed that the cameras don't work. So as a whole, I dug the soulful chops, and even with more of the contemporary sounds, Kid Capri's appearance gives it that touch of 90s nostalgia. Next is Still Here, which has a wavy and ethereal beat that's smooth, but Dave is rapping with some urgency, talking about how he's still here despite the many losses. So it could be looked at as a smooth, a perseverance record. After this is Long Way with Cordae, and we are getting some mellow soul production from Buddha and Grands that I enjoyed. This one is about both of them coming a long way despite the times that they almost went left. Now, between the two, I thought that Cordae had the better verse because Dave did have some cliche similes. Following this is Damn, produced by Mike and Keys and DJ Khalil. Now, I did find Dave East's hook to be catchy, and in the track, he has some reflective lines like, "You keep losing hope, feel like your soul could scream. I done seen some things that make me question life for the rest of my life." So altogether, another well-produced, atmospheric track. Track 7, Sex So Good with Coi Leray, was my first skip. No surprises there. So while the sugary slick instrumental wasn't bad, Coi Leray's performance, it just wasn't for my ears. Now, I know I'm sounding like a super old head right here, but hey, it just wasn't for me, y'all. Now, is it an awful song? No. But is the replay value? Nah. But then there is the highlight. Good with Ghostface Killah, Stacey Barth, and Kalian Arnold, and it's set to this suave, trap-like beat from Scram Jones, who I wish would be utilized more these days. And this beat is ultra chill and lush. And the hook from Stacey Barth and Kalian Arnold is fantastic. I'm talking about these ladies killed it, helping to make it one of the standout songs of the summer. Also, I said Ghostface had the best verse on the whole entire project. He was really coming through with some thought-provoking OG talk. He rapped, "Scraped up souls where the heart is damaged. Some say it starts with this, where the seed is planted but not managed." So I'm really gonna need Ghostface to drop those albums he was talking about during the verses battle. Following this is the single Hustlers with Tyga, and it is a West Coast slapper, whether you like Tyga or not. Now, personally, I don't find Tyga to be interesting on any feature or any album, but you know, the instrumental here was fire and the energy was good, so Tyga was tolerable. Dave East continues to stay in his West Coast bag for the next song, WDGAF with G-Eazy, and it's a banger as well. We're getting this darker Mike Will Made It production that goes hard. Can't say I'm a big G-Eazy guy either, but he's better than Tyga. And yeah, it's a cool banger that served its purpose, especially since Dave has been tapped into the West Coast for years. You know, it just makes sense. Track 13 is Can't Make This Up, and it's a change in pace sonically, where it's backed by some plush boom bap with soulful crooning and Common's Yes, yes, y'all, sample. On here, Dave's giving us another rags to riches narrative and also talking about trying to school the youngsters to want something bigger than just a chain. Following this is Dope Boy, where we get this aggressive Buddha and Grand's beat that felt like a mixture of the production styles found on some of the Book of David as well as Black Rose. The subject matter here, that's pretty self-explanatory. Immediately after is Millions Off Rap, which has a bouncy, flavorful beat from Mike and Keys that I felt was just screaming for a J Rock feature, and it's one of my favorite instrumentals. Dave was reflecting back to when he made his first mill off rap. He also shouted out some of his influences too. Before I was buying my daughter's diapers, I was writing. Favorite rappers was Nas and Jay hyphen. Okay, that was hard. Afterwards is Good Things with Ty Dolla $ign, and you already knew what you were getting into with this before hearing it. You know, some more Bonnie and Clyde relationship type bars from Dave over a smooth, summery West Coast beat. Look, I suppose I'll take this over the Coi Leray track, but I mean, that's not saying much. The next song, Rich Problems, has this opulent cinematic beat that I can envision Styles P and Fab sounding great over as guest features. And here Dave talks about wanting rich guy problems ever since he was a youth, but now he's having buyer's remorse. It has a standout instrumental, but some cliche name drops that do take away its value slightly for me. There was a line that I found comical though. He said, "The task force out on a Tuesday, you thinking tacos?" Track 19 is Weirdos with Jadakiss, and it's another standout as expected. Like you just knew, looking at the track list, like this would probably be the one. We're getting this dusty soul sample production from A-Rap Music. And this is the type of collaboration where Dave East excels. Let's hope that he and A-Rap Music and Kiss could link for a project or an EP. Track 20 is Through the Mud, and it has a contemporary meditative beat. Dave is reminiscent on getting it out the mud and also revealing how hard it is to carry on with some of his people gone. Track 21 is It's a Lot, and I like how he cleverly worked in the It's a Lot hook into the bars. It's one of the highlights and a song that I think will be relatable for a lot of people. And I also dug, you know, the somber, rich piano production. Track 22, Like a Rose, has a gorgeous soul beat from Mike and Keys, and the sax really make it pop. This is the most introspective Dave East song on the project, and he has some cool, I'm gonna say Nas-like reflections about his come up. The second to the last song is Letter to Kobe, and it's a heartfelt dedication to his daughter. It's a thoughtful, wholesome song with some angelic sample-based production. Yeah, it's really hard to hate on this one. Then Dave East wraps his project up on the most gutter note imaginable with Hallway Piss. This record is likely to be a favorite if you are, you know, one of those 90s Wu-Tang heads. Dave and the RZA connect over this lo-fi, dingy RZA production. And Dave East really channels that old New York sensibility here. You're really getting some of that rusty box cutter holding, intellectual street dawn energy. It was a dope way to end the project, and you love to see Dave East working with the Wu artists, you know, given his role as Method Man on Hulu. So overall, we're gonna give this project a rating of a strong 3.5 mics, but it's one that I could see growing on me in time, especially due to the production being so consistently good throughout. Instrumentally, the bulk of it had a smooth, atmospheric summertime quality with nothing really too up-tempo or aggressive, yet nothing sleepy, fortunately. Now, even with the skits, I did find this to have a lot of tracks to digest and take in. So consequently, there were a few skips. So, you know, I'm confident that this would have had a higher rating, you know, had he trimmed down the track list. In terms of the features, I say they were a little more than half good, at least from my ear. And for Dave East's performance, I thought his hook game was pretty on point throughout the album. He definitely had some moments where he was topically focused and, you know, where his imagery and reflections were pretty sharp. But this project still had some incessant name dropping and lazy similes they could have been scrapped. You know, like when he does, I feel like Pablo, I feel like Meech, you know, all that stuff, it can get a little repetitive. Still, if you want a project where both the old and the new New York are being represented well and the production is solid all the way through, give this a listen. My favorite tracks include Come Too Far, Damn, Good, 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 Hustlers, Can't Make This Up, Million Off Rap, Rich Problems, Weirdos, It's a Lot, Like a Rose Letter to Kobe, and Hallway Pit. But let me know in the comment section what you thought about this project. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing off, but please be sure to hit that like button. It definitely helps keep the video in the algorithm. As always, it's peace and blessings. Dave East, Fortune favors the bold one.